All right, fam. I need you to collect your pillows. I need you to collect oven mitts, anything else that will pad your hands. Strap them down with duct tape and anything else that is firm and forceful. I need you to be prepared because what we are going to look at today is unironically like one of the cringiest articles I've ever had the displeasure of reading. Like, it was honestly hard to get through it. And so I'm going to force you to listen to it too. Your face palming urges will be strong. This is, of course, about 007 First Light. Now, previews just dropped like last week or whatever it was. And the previews were all quite positive, actually. I think they were almost universally positive. People comparing the game to Uncharted meets Hitman. It has the cinematic quality of Uncharted, but then it has the gameplay dynamism of Hitman. It seems like they've done a lot of work on optimization, so it's running way better. It's just across the board. Feelings were really positive. Even when it comes down to the writing and the performances, reactions were all very, very positive. I had the chance to play the game, thought it was really, really solid. I still have questions about performance, specifically on consoles, because we just didn't see that. But at least on PC, it seems like they've done a ton of work and it's running really, really well. The writing from what we saw was solid. Voice acting from what we saw was really solid. It's just going to be a matter of time before, we get the final release. But overall, I think a lot of people are really stoked on it. Enter PC Gamer. PC Gamer has had a really weird hard-on for being anti 007. It's been kind of weird to watch, honestly. It's just been strange. From the preview right off the bat, they were weird about it, and then they posted this other article, which is going to be the topic for today, which is just really, really bizarre. Like, there were some of these. Our first look at 007 First Light is finally here, and oh no, I'm pretty sure this Bond was born in the year 2000. Okay. Yeah, after 3 hours 007 First Light, IO's weaknesses are on display in a way they haven't been since Hitman Absolution. And they go through, they have all of these posts on the game. But what are we talking about today? Well, this one from the same author. So this guy who apparently went to the preview event, Joshua Wallens, maybe. I was not familiar with him. He seems to be a news writer that works with them and does a bunch of, it looks like contract work or maybe freelance work, just writing random articles for them. So, I respect the hustle. But he put this article together. Hear me out. What if James Bond shouldn't be in video games? Now, setting aside the point that this is obviously like low-key rage bait. They're trying to say something outrageous to get a reaction. Okay, I'm aware of all of that. Let's hear him out. It's a bold take to be like, let's just get rid of 007 in gaming. Because like 007, I mean, like GoldenEye is one of like the classics. This is very interesting. But okay, I'll hear you out. Okay, I played a good few hours of 007. I want to be clear. I am reading right now. This is not my opinion. I am reading. Okay, I want to just stress that. I played a good few hours of 007 First Light last week, and I encourage you to click that link and read all about what I thought of them. But my time with Jim Bond. This is off to a great start. My time with Jim Bond sparked other thoughts. Thoughts that probably don't belong in a preview. Thoughts like, what if James Bond just shouldn't be a video game protagonist? Bear in mind, almost everyone else liked it and thought it was really good. So this is bringing up contrarian middle child energy, but okay. I know what you're thinking. Do you? I'm not sure you do. And first of all, I'd like you all to stop calling me those nasty names. Okay, well, okay, he did. Okay. Second, yes, GoldenEye for the N64 is a classic. You're also not really James Bond in it. You're a hand with a pistol in it. And sometimes in cutscenes, Pierce Brosnan's face, the character of Bond, existed as a lore reason for your gun to emit bullets. It is a video game. And there are times where you will be playing a character and you are not actually the character. It is a game. So like when you are playing The Last of Us, you are not Joel. You are an avatar representing the character of Joel. That's true. I don't see how that means Joel is... you know what? we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's continue. But games that try to make you feel like James Bond, that put you in his actual shoes, attempt to embody him as a character, they fall down. Why? How? Admittedly, a lot of them are simply not very good video games, okay? But also, I think the very nature of Bond is that he is a creature of cinema. He just doesn't quite fit into games. Part of this is, double check your pillows, okay? Oven mitts and such. Let's not continue, please. I told you I was going to force you to listen to this. Part of this is, quote, well, he's annoying. This might scan differently to non-Brits or indeed to anyone who doesn't share my particular brand of class psychosis. But James Bond is an insufferable public school dickhead. He's a rowing club Tory boy through and through, and he comports himself like a man who has a right to the earth and everybody on it. I can already tell this is somebody who's invited to the party and everybody sighs when he walks in. Oh boy. Here we go. Gonna start talking about class differences and okay, here we go. You know, a lot of fun at a dinner party, tell you what. Which is quite fun for 90 minutes to 120 minutes of a movie where he is surrounded by numerous other people who can roll their eyes at him whenever he opens his mouth. In a video game for 10, 20, 30, 40 hours? Less so. And especially less so in something like First Light, where a lot of his cocky one-liners and general swagger are delivered to empty rooms and enemy corpses, where no one, save the player, can tell him to give it a damn rest. This, I don't know where this is born out of. This is giving the energy of like the kid who is like bullied in school and is still really bitter about that, and so now is like lashing out at people he deems to be cool for not actually being cool. Yeah, it's giving that same energy. It's just, I'm trying. Okay. But also part of his charismatic arrogance is that he is suave and unflappable. Get ready for this. Get ready. This is where I like actually had to double take and make sure this was written by an actual publication. Okay, so, but also part of this, his charismatic arrogance is that he is suave and unflappable. Well, great. Good for him. I am not suave, and I flap at the slightest inconvenience. I simply don't ... fit into him. Should probably reword that. Whenever I, as Bond, fumble a counter, miss a shot, or try to duck into cover only to fling myself headfirst into a desk lamp, I break the spell of the character. Sorry, Romeo, I don't know if you can hear that. Romeo is crying because he doesn't want to be outside because it's snowing, but then he doesn't want to be inside because he wants to be outside. And so he's just like, I don't know what I want. I'm sad. So let me be clear. I get what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say is that James Bond is somebody who is suave and debonair, and he also just tactically has things figured out. You know, you don't see James Bond fumbling that much in the films. Of course, there's plenty of occasions where he like gets captured or maybe he gets punched in a fight. You know, he's not perfect. He's not like Terminator or anything. But when you put that into a game where somebody can fail and can stumble, it can rip you out of any sense of immersion if they're supposed to be put all together. I would argue that complaint kind of falls apart when you remember what this game is, which is an origin story. So it's about James Bond becoming 007. Like literally the tagline for this game is earn the number. Sorry, Jim Bond. Sorry. So he's not the James Bond you recognize in the films, and they've stressed that over and over again. This is about getting there. It's about building up to that point where he is that character that we all know. So he's not going to be on the same level, and you shouldn't expect him to. As for, you know, that's why he's not unflappable in like gameplay specifically, and why that doesn't really matter that much. As for charismatic arrogance, complaining that somebody is charismatic seems to be a behavior that is mainly attributed to those who are not that. You know, you don't see a lot of charismatic people complaining that other people are charismatic. You know what I mean? Like, it tends to be maybe a little bit of cope. I'm not singling out First Light for this. It's just the Bond game I played most recently, and if anything, does a good job of realizing him as a character. It's just that, again, maybe that character should not be a video game character. One moment in particular in my time with First Light made me think is this. 007 is doing righteous battle with a villain. Normal thing for 007 to do. During the fight, he grabs a teacup from the sideboard and drives it hard into his opponent's face. At this point, he says something which I did not write down because I was in the middle of fighting a guy, so my recollection may be fuzzy, but I believe James Bond, 007, on His Majesty's Secret Service, said something along the lines of, "Time for tea. I posit to you is a man who will say time for tea or something close to it upon assaulting some sort of international terrorist with a cup, the kind of person in whose head you want to spend 40 hours? He is not, but turning him into a man who doesn't say that would make him not Bond." It sounds like this goes back to what we've been talking about like all year. Okay, it's a game, dude. Yeah. This is like something we've brought up so many times with like whether it's High Guard or it's other games like Crimson Desert, like a lot of game journalist types coping about that. We've seen this time again where these individuals will write articles or reviews bashing a game for not being this thing they built in their head, and then they punish it for that. So like Crimson Desert doesn't hold my hand enough, and it's not guided enough, and it's too complicated, and it's not enough like Skyrim, and like they have all these things in their head, and then it doesn't match, and so the game is therefore bad. And with this, it's like I want James Bond to like not have witty one-liners because I find the charisma to be not charisma-ing enough, and so I don't want him to be in the game, but then that would make him not James Bond. So like just say you just want to play Uncharted. Like you just want to play Uncharted or Hitman. Like you just don't like this game. Like you just don't like the game. Okay. You don't like the concept. Okay, cool. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. You just don't like it. Okay. And that's fine. It's just what frustrates me is the fact that a game like 007 will almost inevitably, certainly get reviewed by somebody like this who just is never going to like it because he would rather Jim Bond not make one-liners, and he'd rather him be, I don't get if he's asking that he be less charismatic or just a different kind of charisma. I get that you're not like suave and debonair and unflappable in the same way. Like, so are you asking that he was also flappable and not suave? Like, what are you asking for exactly? You just don't like the game. But this guy's going to review it, or somebody like him is going to review it, and then the developers are going to suffer the consequences of it, even though they put a game together that a lot of people, millions of people, are going to eat up and love. I was at a car dealership yesterday and met a lovely guy named Otto. And O-T-T-O, not A-U-T-O. That would have been funny, though. I wonder if that's why he works with cars, maybe. But I met a guy named Otto. Lovely chap. And he ended up recognizing me from the 007 video. He said he's not actually like big into games, doesn't play a lot of games super actively or anything, but he's really interested in 007. It's like, yeah, I saw a trailer for it on a commercial. It's like I started looking up videos for it. Your video came up, I watched it, and then you came in and I was like, I think I just watched one of his videos. But like that 007, there's a lot of people that love 007 and want to do it, want to get into it. They love it. IP power. Yeah, people know 007. They know James Bond. This guy just doesn't, okay? And he just doesn't. He gets uncomfortable with Jim Bond being charismatic. It makes him uncomfortable, okay? And so he's just never going to like it. But what frustrates the hell out of me is that somebody like this will still have outsized influence on like the performance of the game, on the review scores and Metacritic scores of the game, even though he literally was never going to be part of the target audience. It was never going to be a game for him, but he has outsized influence in it, even though he's just a dude who's never going to like this. But because he works at the outlet that has the connection with Open or Metacritic, He can determine whether, or have a major impact on whether like the team gets bonuses if their bonuses are tied to Metacritic scores, or whether a more casual audience member is going to actually decide to give the game a chance or not, because they look at Metacritic scores or the review scores from an outlet like this. Like, and this is part of the energy. And sure, maybe I'm reading too much into this, that, you know, this is probably just one of those articles that's put together to be a click engagement farming, a headline that drives clicks and gets that engagement. But this is why like the broader gaming populace doesn't just like not take games journalism seriously, but like actively mocks it. This is the kind of reason why. Okay. I'm just leveling with all of you. Like whether you work in the industry or not, this is the type of article. Why? How do you fix it? Your editors need to actually have standards. If I worked at PC Gamer and I was the editor, I would have been like, this is like one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. No, we're not publishing this. Are you kidding me? Like if Jacob pitched doing this as a video, or if Landon did or Trevor did to me, I'd be like, no. That's literally all they need. I will say, if you want to read through some of the comments, they're pretty priceless. On Twitter, they put out this, and 123 likes, 803 comments, 474 repostings, and 200 bookmarks. It's about as clean of a ratio as you could imagine. 2.4 million views. Not positive views, I don't think. Nick Tech, just when I thought PC Gamer couldn't sink any lower. Loki, hear me out. What if you shouldn't be in games journalism? Well, just hear me out. This article in a nutshell. We paid a freelancer to say a thing like that you like is dog shit because the Google Facebook duopoly ate the entire or the whole digital ad market, and now harvesting hate clicks is the only viable business model for online media. It gives that energy for sure. Bingo. You're actually regarded. And it's just the clip of him complaining that he's not suave. People with self-images are so broken they can't even pretend to be cool in a video game. It gives that energy where it's like he's feeling like put down by 007. Like 007 being so cool makes him uncomfortable. It's bizarre. Why has PC Gamer become the shittiest game journalist now? I wouldn't go so far. That's a high bar to clear. Translation, I'm a frail individual and I can't relate to James Bond. Therefore, I don't play him in video games. If this isn't the most insecure ass article I've read in a long time. Basically, the author finds him too cool and he can't relate to him, and this ruins his class ideology. This is why people don't take this stuff seriously. This is why. Okay. So don't come at me on Twitter. Be like, oh, Luke's being too mean to us. Fix your own damn problems first, okay? Tidy up your house before you start chucking rocks in mine. I know I just mixed like 3 analogies together, you know? Take the log out of your own eye before you pluck the splinter out of mine. I think that's from the Bible, I think. Did Luke just quote the Bible to game journalists? Sure did. I think. Not sure. Have to look it up. Anyway. Yeah, I only heard Luke say James Bond just shouldn't be in video games. Did I miss something? Oh, God. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Call me asparagus. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. It's one of the most insane things I've read in a while, and I read a lot of high guard coverage and defense, and so there you go. There you go. Now I shared it with you, and you have to suffer through that as well. Key takeaway though is that the game looks really good.